the real driving human core of the movie is a question that Shinzon asks Picard. What is it to be human? And it's a question that Data has grappled with his entire life, that Picard has grappled with in various ways, and now really has to grapple with it with Shinzon. And what Picard finally comes to recognize and to celebrate is something Data says to him in Astrometrics, where he says, I aspire to be more than what I am. The B4 does not, nor does Shinzon. So what Picard gets to be human is to dream, is to hope, is to make yourself a better man. And the tragedy of Shinzon is that he is incapable of doing that.
Buried deep within you, beneath all the years of pain and anger, there is something that has never been nurtured. The potential to make yourself a better man. And that is what it is, to be human. To make yourself more than you are. As Picard begins to understand the underlying ambitions of Shinzon, which are destructive, he has to acknowledge that such feelings have also existed in him, that while he says to Shinzon, you are also me and can be like me, if that argument is to stand up, he has to acknowledge that he is also Shinzon. And the ambition, the driving self-interest that possesses Shinzon is also in some respect present in Picard too.
I can feel everything you feel. In fact, I feel exactly what you feel.
I looked at Picard and Shinzon as characters. It was very important for me to recognize the mirror, how they were alike and how they were not alike. Literally, when I wrote Shinzon's dialogue, I counted out the meter of the beats to make it sound like Picard's dialogue. You know, I knew how Patrick spoke, I knew how Picard spoke, and I wanted Shinzon to mirror that. So sometimes, very technically, I would try to mirror the actual language they used. And certainly their experience shows they're both powerful leaders, both very eloquent, both able to surmount challenges, both men who are able to dream. And the truly compelling thing about Shinzon is that he's a very poignant character, and in ways very sad and very sympathetic. Because as anyone from, Hitchcock to John Ford to Shakespeare will tell you, the more complex your villain is, the better your story is. And so we never wanted to make a one-dimensional villain that we hated. We wanted to make a really interesting, complex, serpentine character with Shinzon. I think we've succeeded.
There's no doubt, Captain. Right down to your aggressive strain of Shalaf syndrome. He's a clone.
Inform Starfleet of the situation. I need to know where the hell he came from. I think at first he is shocked and outraged, as anybody would be, that without his consent, part of him has been taken and reproduced. He has a sense of outrage about that. But as he gets to know Shinzon better, that as a response becomes much, much less important. It's who Shinzon is and what he wants that matter so much, and it's in this area of who Shinzon is and what he wants that the battles occur between the two of them.
Hello, Jean-Luc. Why am I here? Why have you done this?
I was lonely.
Any good dramatist is going to try to relate all the stories. So as soon as we decided that Picard was going to be fighting a clone, we thought it would be nice to do something similar for Data, to throw him into a situation where he had to deal with something that was very much like him, but wasn't him exactly. And since I believe the theme of Nemesis is family, and this family, for both Data and Picard to have to meet family members they didn't know existed, and in fact were adversaries of them, I think was just a really exciting opportunity. And frankly, I'm enough of a Brent Spiner fan that I like seeing him play more than one person.
Brother, I cannot move. No. I have only activated your cognitive and communication subroutines. Why? Because you are dangerous.
What is most interesting is that's really where the family is. Data's searching for a family, and Picard actually has that going on with Shinzon, and even though Shinzon is a clone of him, he's still almost like a son, in a way. He wants to appeal to his better instinct, what he knows is inside of himself. But I think where they all come finally is to realize that their core for all of them is themselves, is that group of people.
I actually thought John Logan captured the best of what Star Trek has always been, what Roddenberry always swore by, and what Rick has been trying to maintain, which is subjects that are bigger than life, stakes that are not just global but galactic.
I think I sort of suggested it initially. It took a lot of talking about between me and John and Rick, all of us trying to decide if this was the right idea and if we should really do this, and or should we kill Patrick? It just seemed that this was the thing to do, that it made sense for Data to sacrifice himself for his friends, that was the ultimate human expression.
The most important lesson of this movie, I believe, is that it tells us that it is never too late to change, to assess who and what you are and make adjustments, to have some friends.
It is Data, the machine, who really has the philosophy.
To family.
About what it is that makes us what we are. That's another of the big themes in the movie is what is it that makes us what we are? Are we born with it? Do we acquire it? Do we choose it?
This film, if it is to be the last Next Generation movie, says goodbye to the Next Generation cast and crew in a very appropriate way. There are no ends left dangling. There is closure on the entire cast, and in a way which I think is quite effective. But there is also, sitting right there at the end of the movie, a sequel.
Never saw the sun. Never saw the sun. Never saw the sun.